Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest
down to the queens.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody inside and outside of the gender spectrum, and welcome back to Stardom Quest Gold, the best weekly Stardom and Marigold podcast anywhere in the world. I'm, as always, Alex, and I'm joined by Dylan. Hi, Dylan.
Hi, Alex. Hi, everybody. I'm here.
You are here.
I felt like I had something to say, but I don't think I do, actually. What have I been doing with my life the past few days?
I think there's a Simpsons bit that goes very much like this, but I can't remember. Oh, yeah, Poochie, I has something to say, and then they cut it all. I remember that.
Yeah, I haven't been doing much, actually. I've
Big
been
Brother
working.
ended, as did your existence.
Big Brother ended. I've been working more, and yeah, I just don't do things anymore. Me, Scott, and Xavi, shout out to the real one. He was like, "Hey, you guys should download this app so that you could watch, so you can like screencast from your phone onto your TV." And so last night we all sent each other pictures of us watching Sunday Girls on our televisions, uh, because we've been dying to watch Wrestle Universe on TV rather than on a computer for so long, and we all decided to do that at the same time, completely separate from each other. It was just a
That's
it was a funny
incredible.
moment.
You guys
Yeah.
are syncing. It is very scary.
Scott also asked me what his password was to something, and Xavier's like, "That's not how that's supposed to work." Why does Dylan keep all your passwords? I was like, I just remember shit.
Yeah, well, he's probably sent it at a certain point in time. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, that's fun. We have somehow like a loaded show because Stardom had one show, but their wrestlers were involved in 20. So
Also, they decided to upload the tag league teams like 20 minutes after we finished recording.
oh yeah, that was great. Yeah. Somebody did say in our Discord, record now, please. So they'll announce Goddess League, and then we did, and they announced Goddess League. And we used to record Wednesdays, and Thursday was announcement day. And now we do Tuesdays, and Wednesday is announcement day. And if we did Mondays, Tuesday would be announcement day. That tends to be how this happens. I'm not saying it's a conspiracy, but I am saying R-Truth had a good gimmick going there one time with the conspiracies, and he might have been onto something. So,
It's funny because I was gonna say the Chris Jericho one, which is funny because like that's before my time, and R-Truth makes more sense. Plus, I'm black and I like R-Truth better.
R-Truth is like the best. He's one
Yeah.
of the best ever. So, Stardom wrestlers outside of Stardom, bear with us. On the Brovres side of things, Azumi and Mina Shirakawa were involved in RevPro Global Wars. This happened in Doncaster on the 19th. Azumi beat Kanji in a 12.5-minute match on that show. It was an okay match. They were kind of going, it was like a quarter speed Azumi match.
See, yeah, that was the thing. I was gonna watch that, but then you were like, that's. And I was like, if you were like kind of iffy on it, I probably won't like it.
Especially because I like Kanji. Like, I think Kanji is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were like quarter speed, and like crowd wasn't very good, so not the best outing there.
I heard that about just the weekend. Royal Quest, apparently the crowd just was not buying into shit.
I don't know how the copper box it sounds. I don't think it's good for acoustics. Like, as I've been there, I was at the copper box, and it's very like everything is just going away from the ring. So I feel like any noise is probably just going backwards. So I don't think it sounds good, but I don't know for sure. Also on that show, Mina Shirakawa defended the RevPro Undisputed British Women's Championship. She beat Lizzie Evo in 14 minutes. This only has a 5 on Cage Match, so you can tell it's not very good.
What are we
I
doing
didn't.
with Mina?
I don't know. She needs to leave though. I'm so
Wait,
over
she's not in
all of
Tag
this.
League.
No, she's not.
I just made an entire spreadsheet, entire schedule, reading the names over and over again, and I just realized that Mina was missing. She needs to leave. I'm gonna be real. Like,
Mhm.
just leave.
Cut the ties
This is
now.
getting
It's
ridiculous. Just dip.
Yeah. So I didn't watch Mina and Lizzie Evo because the one place that did upload Global Wars only uploaded 90 minutes of the show. And so they said, "Oh, Tanahashi's gone. That's it. I don't want to do this anymore." So I don't even know how to watch this match, but it only has a 5 on Cage Match. That's the lowest rated match on the show. So I'm gonna assume it wasn't very good. On New Japan's Royal Quest, we had a tag team match. Azumi and Danny Luna beat Kanji and Mina Shirakawa in 9 minutes. I thought this was a lot better. I thought Azumi and Kanji had the exchange that I was hoping they would have. They were working really well together, and Danny Luna is good. And I think her and Mina did some good stuff, and they set up basically Danny Luna and Mina again because Danny pinned Mina to get the win.
Yeah, I like Danny Luna. I like Azumi.
Yes. I think if you
Yeah.
watch this, you would enjoy the Kanji Azumi stuff. I don't know if you have
Okay.
watched it. Did you? You're a
No.
New
No.
Japan guy. No? Okay. I
Oh,
think you would
I
like the
was
Azumi
not gonna
Kanji
watch Royal
stuff.
Quest.
That's fair. It does not look
Actually,
fun.
funnily enough, I'm obviously a big TMDK fan, so I was going to watch them versus Tana and Ishii, but then I was like, I don't
Mm,
really need to. I'm gonna get so many TMDK matches in Tag League. I don't need to watch their British match.
that's fair, honestly. Yeah, the show is like a 5
Oh
altogether,
yeah,
so
I
it,
I,
people were
I was
not
talking to
into it.
Scott. Scott fucking hated it. He was like,
That's
"This is
fair.
terrible."
Yeah, I think you can see now how the gap between like the New Japan wrestlers and the British guys are, because like no offense to just Joe Lando, but he is not Taiji Ishimori. You know, I respect
No,
Taiji Ishimori immensely. I think he's a very talented guy. Like the golfing quality there is just too much, and that's why
man,
a show full of matches like that did not work.
Taiji Shimori, bringing Robbie X into mainline Bullet Club, which doesn't exist anymore.
Incredible.
It's just Ishimori, Kenta, and Robbie X and Chase Owens. Crazy lineup there.
Fair.
Him doing that was so funny because I was like, personally, they almost brought Robbie X into TMDK, and I was concerned. I don't fucking like Robbie X.
Really? Oh,
So them throwing him into Bullet Club was not only funny, but it was also like saving me from a bad time.
Robbie X is one of the few British guys I tolerate. I feel like I've always thought he was
See,
better than the rest.
he he's fine, but then I watched him in the CMLL Grand Prix, and I was like, this guy sucks. Like when he's in there against like actual good, fast paced wrestlers, like he
Ah, yeah,
isn't
that's not
good.
fair though. CMLL wrestlers are just too good.
It's different.
Come
Yeah,
on
no,
now.
I get you.
Come on. But yeah, no, I don't mind Robbie X, but that's enough on the Broveress. Mina and Danny Luna are going to wrestle. I think they set up for December. I'm kind of disappointed Stardom didn't at least ask to like run Luna versus Mina on a Stardom show. I think that would be really fun. You could put that like fourth from the top on a pay per
When's the
view,
last
and I would
time
be.
Stardom brought in a non AEW foreigner?
Um,
I mean,
I
Xena.
don't know. That's yeah, that's a good question. It was probably when Rossi was still there.
Yeah,
Wow, that's yeah.
I don't think they do foreigners anymore.
It's weird for them to work with all these promotions and not do any scouting. I feel like that's a letting the home team down to some degree, but I don't know. Um, Speaking of Progress, actually, I did forget. Momo Watanabe and Konami were announced for Pro Wrestling Eve on November
Quietly.
1st. Quietly, very quietly, on 13 days notice as well. So like it's very little time to get yourself together. They're putting an 8-woman tag match. It's them. Who's on their team? Oh God. Let me check. Because it's like them against Top Shaggers, which I think is Emerson, Jane, and Kanji, which is a name that's coming up a lot. Alex Windsor,
Top
people
Shaggers is
know.
not a name that comes up a lot, personally.
No, Kanji is a name that comes up a lot.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, gotcha.
And Session Moth Martina is also in that one. Oedo
Yeah.
Tai alumni. So technically, Martina should be teaming with Hate. She's like,
Yeah, but
sequentially
she's never
is in
teamed
Hate.
with either of these people because they're new.
That's true. How could I
Session
forget?
Moth has
So it's
more seniority over them in Oedo Tai.
That's true. It's Konami, Momo, and then the Medusa Complex, of course. Millie
Oh,
McKenzie and
that's
Charlie Evans.
that's cool.
So
Is Charlie?
I don't know anymore.
Yeah,
She was good, but
because
I have not
yeah, no,
seen
she was
Charlie
good
Evans in
when they were
forever.
in Sendai, and then she fell off the face of the earth during
She
COVID,
went back
and
to Australia, which
yeah,
is
same
yeah,
difference.
yeah,
Um, and so I don't know if she's still good, but she was very good when they were in Sendai. I like them together.
yeah. So that's an interesting match. I don't think they wanted to run that. I think their original main event got called off because of an injury, so they just decided to throw that together, which is fine. I mean,
Very
if you're
Eve of them, it just
yeah,
shit just happens.
if you're able to go to the show, that's pretty cool. I think it's good for Eve to be able to get Stardom wrestlers. It means sometime I might get to see some more of them at Eve, if they ever don't announce it 13 days in advance. So, but yeah, that is finally it for the Brovress. Closer to home, Sendai Girls is our main focus. On the 18th, Aya Sakura beat Yuna in the semi-final of the Jaja Uma tournament. This is a rookie tournament, apparently crown a contender for the junior belt, which has been vacated for like 2 years
Oh yeah,
now.
they finally actually like set up a junior title match,
Yes, they
and
were
we're
meant to
good.
do that last year with this
Yeah, and then
same
they're like,
tournament and just didn't.
we don't fuck with
Yeah.
zones like that.
um, so Aya Sakura beat Yuna. I thought that was fine. I think Yuna is like the least impressive trainee I've seen in a while. She's just kind of,
That match, I thought it was good. I thought it was a good match.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Yuna is like particularly impressive. She was always weaker of the two with her and Rhea, who is now a
Mm,
Marigold wrestler. Um, Rhea immediately clicked sooner than Yuna did. Um, Now I think Yuna has improved over the past year she's been around, but I do think she's a slower developer than some others.
sure, yeah. Like I think she got like completely run over by Aya Sakura here. Which isn't like a bad thing. I think Aya Sakura is a way better rookie than a lot of people would even give her credit for. Like she's one of the best of the recent classes, I would say. Like it's hard to think of anybody on her kind of level. Um, but yeah, that was okay. The next match, Dash Shizako and Suri beat Red Energy, the team of Mika Iwata and Miyuki Takase, when Dash pinned Mika in just under 15 minutes.
It's so time. It's so time.
Yes. This was great. Suri and Dash were just bullying the shit out of Takase. It was fantastic. Suri and Iwata bringing the passion with their exchanges. Like everything they did was so hype. Yeah, Dash Sako, the woman that you are. What a wrestler.
Legit, like all year I've been like, damn, Dash would just be like the best wrestler, like one of the best wrestlers in the world if she just like had a consistent level of doing shit. Uh,
Hmm.
and now they might give her the belt. Finally. Fuck
Gotta
yeah.
run her and Mako,
Please.
Gotta run that one more time.
Man. I need Dash to win. I'm not gonna lie. Mika's cool. I'm happy she got her reigns, but Dash has been due longer and is
Yes.
better.
Yes. Okay. That is fair.
Shuri
So
was cool in this match as well, but obviously I think Dash was kind of the star of the show.
yeah,
Um,
Siri. I mean, look, Siri is cool, but the most important thing is that coming out of this, Siri did set up another match on November 22nd, which is so far away. She is
it's
wrestling
a month
Miki
from today.
Iwata. Oh, that's true. She's wrestling Miki Iwata in the Sendai Pit 1-on-1, um, and that's I don't know when the big show thing is. I probably should have checked because that also has a Stardom wrestler on it, so that's
Yeah,
something.
when is that?
It is on the
I
6th. So on the 6th of
okay.
November. Shiori Ano is wrestling Meiko Satomura on the big show in Niigata. This is Meiko's first singles match since she announced her retirement, so it's a pretty big spot.
Wait, no, no,
Um,
no, 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 it's not. Uh,
it's
oh
two.
wait, no.
It's two.
Marvelous is all messy because I forget how Marvelous is scheduling because they're doing Takumi and
Oh yeah,
Meiko.
yeah. That's her
Is that
second
this
one. I forgot.
weekend
Yeah,
or
that is this
was
weekend.
that?
Yes, Meiko
Hmm.
and Takumi. Yes, I forgot all about that. So, um, yeah. So that's all the Stardom stuff there for now. On the 20th of October then as well. Chi-Chi beat Aya Sakura in the final of that Jaja Uma tournament in 18 minutes. This is a great
This is
match.
awesome. Yeah.
Go out of your way to watch it if you haven't. It seems to have just gotten skipped over by the most people, but it was legitimately fantastic.
Honestly, that
Chi-Chi.
show was very good. I didn't I forget what the opener was. I think I skipped it. But the top 4 matches were all good to great. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I saw Hiroyo and you throwing shots at each other, and I just went, "Yeah, that's real."
See, and Spike
Um,
was in that match, and I as we'll talk about later, I love Spike. I think she's great. And so that was a fun match there. Chiro Hashimoto tried to get her DQ'd because she was wearing Doc Martens. Um, very funny bit. And yeah, and then Chi-Chi and Sakura was great, and Miki Wada and Minami was great. So yeah, I
Minami rocks.
especially those top two, I recommend going out of your way to watch.
Yeah, I think Chi-Chi's, like, evolution is incredible. She's somebody who's angling for Stardom dates, but they haven't picked her up yet, so I'm hoping she gets involved in New Blood soon. She's far and away, like, the most interesting prospect in the scene because
Didn't
everybody
they
sees it.
run this match
I don't know. Did they?
in New Blood, and it wasn't good? Or
I
was
don't know.
it was Chi-Chi versus someone? I think it might have been Chi-Chi versus Aya. I'll have to
She needs
look
to be on it
in
again,
old.
though.
I agree.
That's what I'm here for. Because everybody sees it with Chi-Chi. Obviously, Senda Girls had her win this tournament. She wrestled Nagayo in a singles match at Korakuen Hall, which says enough about how much Nagayo loves her. And if Nagayo loves you, you're probably pretty talented. Um, so yeah, Chi-Chi beat Aya there, but honestly, like I think they did really well. They kind of set it up to where they could just feud
Oh,
forever.
it was Chi-Chi and Miyu that wasn't good last year.
Oh yeah. Oh, I see. It was last year, so it was a bit iffy. But yeah, that would be a lot better
It's
now, given
coming
where
up
they
on a
both
year
are.
anniversary from that. Yeah.
But yeah, I think Aya and Chi-Chi almost set up a grudge to where they could run it back as much times as they want, and even if they wanted to get some of the other EVO girls involved for tags, I think it could really benefit everybody.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean Chi-Chi was just kind of like, man, I hate Stardom so
yes,
much, and so everybody's like, okay, the fuck, and then that kind of I'm something off topic. I've been trying to figure out why Chi-Chi isn't in Los Egos yet. Because she just is that. Like she's so Asuka
does that
coded.
still
She's so
exist?
yeah. It's
Maybe
it's uh or not Asuka. Veni.
Venny.
Yeah, my bad. Um, like she's so Veni coded. She's so Makoto coded. Yeah, it's still Makoto, Veni, Nagisa, and Yuki.
Ah,
That's
yes,
Los Egos.
yes. I kind
And
of
I'm just
forgot
like
about Seedling. It feels like they haven't
Chi Chi
run in
just
forever.
works there. Like Chi Chi 100% should be their
That's fair.
new minion, like the strawberries used to be. But yeah, I think Chi-Chi's great, and I think she should continue to have as many dates as possible, which I think she is. I think people really like Chi-Chi and Aya Sakura on the scene.
Yes,
Just from
yeah,
what I could tell, I think Aya Sakura is somebody that I think Mako even was like, man, Aya Sakura has a lot to her, and she's awesome. Um, so
it's
yeah,
my
I hope
chosen rookie.
they
She was
both
my
keep
one.
getting bookings. I know I was Aya Sakura is fucking one of like the most fun wrestlers to watch in the company. I was kind of bummed when I realized that she's in a losing tag team with Yuna. I was like, man, it would be great if she was with
Oh,
Tam
and
so
Tag
that
League,
she could
yeah, it's
win
a shame they
sometimes.
split up Karara and Sakura. That's
Yeah, at
really
least
annoying.
that. You know, what I mean, like I think her and Yuna is like the least interesting pairing they could have done for me as an Aya Sakura
Yes,
fan.
pretty much.
Um, because I think Aya and Tam would have been cool because then they could pick up a win or two. Her and Sakura would be fun because they're both underdogs fighting from underneath. And then obviously I don't think they're going to split up Tom and Jerry, but that's okay.
Um, to continue on our Stardom wrestlers outside of Stardom, because as I said, they are up to so much. Azumi, Mei Seira, and Miyu Amasaki of Neo Genesis were announced for the Ranmaru Fest 41, the 25th anniversary celebration of Ranmaru, who is a ninja formerly of AJW, where she was
Formerly
a
a Zap.
shooter, formerly a Zap, then a shooter, now the inheritor of Fairy Nihonbashi's wand, and a ninja. And they are in the ultra main event, not my words, that Ranmaru's words, ultra main event of Azumi, Mei Seira, and Miyu Amasaki versus Ranmaru herself, Tei Hanma, and Miyuki Takase with Hibiscus Me in their corner.
Fuck
Hibiscus
yeah,
Me obviously can't wrestle because she
I
blew up
miss
her
her.
leg at some point this
She's
year.
she's very funny.
Yes.
But yeah. I mean, like Ranmaru and Hibiscus Me have been rocking together for fucking decades since Alpha
Oh yeah.
Miyuki was a thing. Um,
They
but yeah,
also have
that's actually
Fairy
sick.
Nihonbashi unretiring for this show. I think she's in a match with Chihiro Hashimoto, a tag match. So yeah, that's fun. This show will probably air somewhere. I know they used to air on Nico, but I think at the worst there will be a DVD. I think Ranmaru does
Hmm.
sell DVDs of the shows. So if you're super into Neo Genesis, you'll be able to find this match eventually. Last thing then on Oz Academy this weekend. They are not this weekend on the 27th. They are running Yokohama Budokan for their big annual show. Siri is involved in one of the key matches. Where did it go? Oh yes. So it's Ryo Mizunami, Hiroya Matsumoto, Itsuki Aoki, Akino, no,
Okay.
the other one, and Jaguar Yokota
Sunoco Kato,
versus Snoko
you
Kato,
asshole.
yes, versus Siri, Rina Yamashita, Shiori Ano, Zones, and Akino. And basically,
That's a
this
sick
is an
match.
elimination style match
It's
to
missing
get down
Miyamoto,
to
but it's sick.
one single person who will then wrestle Ozaki later in the show for the Oz title.
Oh, it's same show. That's fucked up.
Same show. It's a semi-final actually. So you do this and then you go straight into wrestling Ozaki. So yeah.
If Ozaki
Yeah.
puts someone over at the end of that show, she's retiring. There's no way
Oh,
she's letting
definitely.
someone
For
go
sure.
through an entire match and then beat her and then not and then staying around. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
um, but
Shiori Ano
yeah,
wins and
I
then you know what
love
happens.
I love the way that that works. Honestly, I really like that sort of match where it's like it's a team battle and then it turns into a free for all, kind of like
Yeah.
Hell's Kitchen.
They did it on
Um,
December. Was it last December or this
yeah,
January
yeah,
this
last
year? And it
December. It
was
was the
fantastic.
end of December. It was like the
Yeah.
29th, 30th.
Like it works a lot better than you're probably thinking. But yeah,
Oh, it's tremendous.
Siri's involved in that, and we're hoping for a lot of Siri goodness. Her and Ryo Mizunami. Let's let that happen. Her and Aoki actually. Yeah, let's do it. Also on this show, FWC are the number one contenders match for the Oz tag belts. They are taking on Mayuki and Kekeru Sekiguchi and a team of Kohaku
Oh,
and Momoka Hanazono.
I didn't realize that they added in Sekigun. They aren't still
They're not
Sekigun.
Sekigun
Who are they?
anymore, no. They are just bad
The evil
people.
bastards.
Yeah.
Um, the evil alliance, Goku Akudome. No, but yeah, I think adding in Kakaru and Maya makes it seem like FTC probably isn't winning. But they didn't want to take the fall.
Probably.
But I think it would be cool if they did win and then challenge for the Oz belts because that'd be fun. But also, I kind of have a inkling that they're probably winning Tag League, even though I do that every year because there's no other tag teams in the company. Um, but yeah, so I would like it if they won, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were just left out of the fall, as Suzuki usually is in these sorts of situations.
All right. Um, let's see. That's all then for Oz.
Ooh! Oh wait, no, I thought you meant all for.
Show.
No, there's more.
Yeah, we're done.
No, not for the show.
Um,
I meant for the wrestlers outside of Stardom because I was like,
oh
I
no,
don't
that's
even
it.
remember half of these.
Yeah, we are done.
Oh,
That's
cool.
all
Let's
50
go.
of them. I guess technically there was a announcement for historic crossover today. Natsupoi is teaming with Taichi to take on Tekla and Clark Connors.
See, that
Um,
sucks.
that
Because like,
reminded me of even worse news that Xena is injured for the foreseeable future.
yeah, she like
She apparently
tore
tore a
her
ligament in
ACL
her leg.
or yeah.
So no Xena in Tag League, no Xena for the foreseeable future. Um, yeah,
I'm
not
distraught.
not
I'm
good
not gonna
news.
lie.
Not good news at all. Now, that is all for the news, as far as I can tell. Unless
Oh, about the historic crossover thing. They kind of fucking fucked that up. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, because like if they had thrown in David Finley, at least there'd be someone to save it on the bad guy's side. But there's not. So this is bad.
I'm preparing for
Or if
for
they
like
or if
this
they
show to
threw
not be
in
good.
if they threw in a Tam and a Momo, at least it's like, oh well,
Mm,
then at least Tam and Momo are good. It's just Taichi and Natsupoi. They're fucked.
yeah,
That's all. That's all that's there.
yeah, we're in hell. I'm in hell.
Yeah.
Um, men's wrestling invading my precious safe space. Like, this is not fun.
This is
But
not a safe
listen,
space anymore.
no, not anymore. We did have New Blood 16. This is our probably the only show we'll review in full because the house show only went
Mhm.
up earlier today. So this is in the Bell Saal Shinjuku Grand in front of 236 fans. In the opener, Manami beat Rian in 9 minutes, and I thought it was a fun opener.
This was good.
Probably a little bit longer than you needed to go, but I thought did well
I
with.
thought this worked. I thought that other matches on this card were far longer than I
Yeah,
ever,
everything could have shaved
ever
off a
wanted them to
couple
go.
minutes, especially the tag that happened after.
I feel like most of these yeah,
Yeah, no, I said especially
I thought
the tag.
I thought all of the matches were a bit too long.
Yes, very much so.
Save for the Neo Genesis one. I thought that was fine,
Okay,
time-wise.
that's fair. That is fair. But yeah, I thought this was good. Manami, good wrestler.
Nami
Rian,
rules.
I like Rian. So we
Going
go on
from
then.
facing Rion in the opener of a Stardom show to the main event of a Sendai Girls show for the world title, very funny.
Incredible. We then had Rana Yagami and Lady C beat Aya Sakura and Sayaka Kurara. Rana got the win in 13 minutes with a paradiddle. The paradiddy. I can't remember which one it is, but it
Paradiddle.
is a drumming term.
It's diddle.
The highlights of
Yeah.
this were obviously the Rana
So
Aya
long.
stuff. Very long. That was the big critique. Because they did good stuff, especially the Rana Aya. I think Lady C obviously does good stuff when she's in there with Rana as a team. But yeah, I don't think they had 13 minutes in them, so it
That's
did
the thing.
kind
I
of end
like
up
all of these
dragging.
wrestlers. But I was just like, oh my god, this is still what we're doing. I also watched this after the Sunday Girls match show, and I loved that show. So this was like a real downgrade in quality just because it was a rookie show, frankly. Uh,
See.
I kind of set them up for failure in that regard. But yeah, so like it was rough this match, especially.
All right. We then had Starlight Kid and Miyu Masaki beat Yuna and Spike Nishimura. Starlight Kid submit Yuna with the Black Tiger Leg Destroyer in just under 12 minutes.
Numero dos.
Um, there was some good stuff here. I thought especially the stuff Kevin did with Spike. I thought Miyu is a very natural baby face versus the lanky Spike. It kind of just works quite well. Yuna obviously is very solid. Starlight Kid is very good at what she does. I thought everybody just kind of worked well, but the stuff that really stood out to me was the Miyu Spike stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably my favorite thing about getting to talk about this New Blood show is that I get to talk about Spike because I think considering her like not only her experience level but also where she was trained, she's like tremendous. Like all things considered, she debuted less than a year ago in New England, um, which and Alex, you know this as a scout, so to speak. New England isn't like that great of a training center for women. I mean, obviously, like, most of the great products on the indies in America come out of Texas. Um, when it comes to women, especially. So, like, you look at that, and it's pretty remarkable just how good Spike is and how good she did on her brief tour alongside Sendai um, the past month in Japan. And I know this match was a very good showing for her. I hope she comes back to Japan soon. I know she has left, but she did a tremendous job here. And I was very happy to see her and like Starlight Kid tie it up, like you said. Her and Miyu did a lot of good work. Um, yeah, I wish we got her in Tag League instead of some of the teams we did. Her and Yuna, I think that would have been fun. The Midwest emo lovers, as they are known. But yeah, I had a good time with this one.
I don't think I was as blown away by Spike as most people because a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest wrestler I've ever seen." Um, but I did like Spike, and I think for somebody who went from rare bookings on Wrestle Open to a tour of Japan, she looked a lot more.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And you had to step away from the mic for a second, so I don't know if you caught it that like for someone that was trained in New England, um, less than a year ago, debuted. I think she's very good. Because like I said, as you know, Texas is kind of like the place that all of the great women's wrestlers come from nowadays on
Yeah,
the
pretty
indies.
much.
And New England is a very male dominated scene. Um, for those of you who don't know, who maybe aren't American, New England is just the Northeast of America. Um, and yeah, so like her coming out of there, not getting to wrestle much, because there aren't a lot of dates for women in New England either. Uh, I think she did a great job. Um, and yeah, I'm a big fan of what she was able to do. I realized I didn't even bring this up to you, like because I read her interview that she did over there. She has never watched WWE. She got into
Oh,
wrestling watching Lucha Underground,
that is fantastic. That is so on brand. Like that is the most
and
Spike thing I've ever seen.
then she stopped watching wrestling because she wanted to do MMA. She started training to become a MMA fighter, and then
Oh,
her dojo shut down in COVID. And so when the world opened back up, she decided to wrestle uh instead. So that's her origin story, and I think that's badass as fuck.
that is very badass.
Is that she's like I just want to be an MMA fighter, but then didn't work, so I'm a wrestler now.
It's good, honestly. The thing I will say about Spike that I like is the social media presence. Like that is somebody who understands pro wrestling is about like selling tickets and engaging with your audience and like all this stuff like Spike Tober or whatever it was, like
Yeah,
Spike on tour. Like that's all really simple stuff that gets fans engaged with you, and I think that's the sign of a really smart wrestler. Like I knew just by looking at her social media, this is a smart person. Like this is somebody who gets it, you know? So yeah, I think with the IQ for wrestling that Spike seems to have and I think the physical attributes of just being so tall but still athletic. Like if somebody was to offer her a full time spot in Japan, I think she would fit in seamlessly.
and that's the thing. It seems like everybody liked her over there.
Yeah.
Hiroyo seemed to take a liking to her. Mako seemed to take a liking to her. Chihiro, you never really know Chihiro, but she was cracking jokes with her, so I'm assuming
Hmm.
that she likes her. And then all of the younger wrestlers. So it's like I would love to see her back in Japan. Honestly, I would just love to see her out of New England at all, because that place is kind of a rotten scene
Yes.
in in
Is that Beyond?
indie
Is that where
wrestling.
Beyond runs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's beyond. It's New England wrestling. It's other places.
Beyond used to be
It's
cool. I feel like they
mostly
fell off a
beyond,
cliff though.
big
They,
time.
like, fully.
Um, but yeah, so I like even if it's just her getting other booking dates in America, that would be cool. But obviously, I'd love to see her back in Japan.
Definitely. Um, I mean, honestly, if they want to get her back in for a future match with Amasaki, like let's do it.
That'd be tremendous.
But yeah,
I would love that.
I don't know. I think Stardom would have to like make an offer for Spike to
Oh,
come
and
over. That's the
her
only
and
problem.
Yuna bonded over a love for Midwest emo
That is incredible.
for
How on
for
earth
like
does
their
Yuna know what that is?
or just for their like that type of music.
I
Like
see.
they showed each other, like they did a cultural exchange where Yuna showed her like the underground music in Japan, and Spike showed her like Midwest emo and underground music from America. I thought that
Spike
was really
just being
cool.
like, "Have you heard of Hot Mulligan?"
No,
Like, what do you?
legitimately, like that's like actually.
I gotta hit up Spike now for Rex. You know. It's,
Oh man,
um,
but yeah, shouts to them.
Yes. Our next match then was Tomoki Inaba and Hina of God's Eye beating Kohaku and Honoka of Pro Wrestling Wave. Tomoki Inaba got the win with the Inaba one shot, I think, in
No,
10 and
she
a
went
half
with the
minutes.
Inaba drop.
That's what Itoshi is. Okay.
Yep,
The Inaba drop. And I thought this was a good match. I haven't seen Honoka in a while, but I thought she was good. I thought
Hinoka
Hina
is good.
looked really good. Honoka Inaba rocks, and this was more of what I wanted from Kaku. I thought her last appearance in Stardom, she didn't set the world alight, but this was a lot more of what she
Kaku's
can
had a
bring to the
weird
table.
year. And I think like that's part of why I don't watch Wave as much anymore is because I think their one shining star has had a pretty dull year, all things
Mm,
considered. Not even just in like a booking sense, just in like an in ring sense. But yeah, I thought she did good here, and I like Hina and Tomoka as a team. I think they actually work super well together. Once again, kind of a bummer they're not in tag league together because I was like, oh, that seems like a team that they can sink their teeth into. They can contrast with Azusa and Rena. Like I think that's a cool dynamic. Is the twins and the sisters? Like
yeah,
that's cool. But then they decided not to do that, so that's lovely. But yeah, I thought this match was solid, if not like forgettable. I think that was its biggest problem is that like I liked what Hanoka did, I liked what Tomoka did, I liked what Hina did, I liked what Kohaku did, but I can't tell you many specifics about it because it just kind of was in one ear out the other sort of thing.
See, well, I don't know. I thought it was good. So
As did I. It was just
yes.
and I've been a Hanoka fan for a long time. I think she's great. So
Yeah, she's better than Kazuna at the moment, but we'll get to that.
easy.
Our main event then, short card. Rina and Azusa Inaba beat Waka Tsukiyama and Hanako when Rina submit Hanako with the hydrangea in 18 minutes. Very surprising result, honestly. I thought Hanako they were very obvious about this Hanako thing. Like they
I
were
thought
winning on every show.
I thought this surprisingly was that she's the one who took the L.
Yeah, no,
Um,
this was like fully we're putting Rina over again. Like
yeah, that was weird.
yeah.
Because before this show happened and they announced the tags, the in tag league, I was like, oh, Hanako and Waka will lose here because Waka's bad, and then Hanako and Micah's gonna go on a run in tag league, and it'll be like back in the day when they were putting over Sai Kamatani, uh, and they were like, oh, Momo and Utami can't get it done, but Saya and Utami can get it done. I thought they were gonna do that with the Hanako Micah team and have them make a deep run, but her just losing does make me think, okay, they're pushing this off or ending it, whatever this Hanako push is. So that was
Yeah.
interesting. Again, 18 minutes, not necessary. I understand it was a main event, but it's just I don't want to see Hanako and Waka go 18 minutes, if I'm being honest.
It was mostly a Hanako arena singles match for
Yeah,
the
and that
last
too.
chunk.
I was like, oh, we're just sticking with this. Okay, fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. Like it was a good match. Like it was a solid, standard solid match. But I definitely think I was like, oof, yeah. Uh, I don't love Waka and Hanako together, but I think that much is obvious and not surprising.
No, not at all. Yeah, that was a cap to a
Azusa
fine
did good
show.
though.
She
Azusa
did, yeah.
and Rena are a good team.
Yeah, there's been better new bloods than this, and there probably will be
Certainly.
better ones soon. But I thought everybody was okay. It was nice to see some of the new wrestlers, which is obviously part of the appeal of new blood. Getting to see Hinoka again, getting Spike on there, getting Yuna, stuff like that is kind of appealing.
Oh yeah,
And then
100%.
also as
I think
well,
that's the most fun.
the DC and Ronnie Agami challenge for the belts, which I think is very good. I think they could have a really
Yes.
good match with Rina and Azusa. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, ideally.
Um, then
I'm eating a donut,
Stardom.
by the way. Even though it was low on
Okay.
my ranking last week, I just want everybody to know I am eating a donut.
I see. Okay. Stardom ran in the large exhibition hall. Incredible name in the Fujisan Messe in front of 483 fans on the 20th. This went up earlier today, so I only checked out kind of the key stuff. And by that I mean one match. In the opener, Sakura Carrara beat Rian and Hina. Surprising result there. Carrara won with the spear in 9.5 minutes over Rian. One. Um,
Mm,
Rana
good for her.
Yagami and Suri beats Natsuko Tora and Rina and the team of Maika and Waka Tsukiyama. Rana
Oof.
got the win for her team with the paradiddle in 8 minutes.
Over who?
So it doesn't say. I'm going to assume it was
Oh,
Rina.
Rena. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because obviously they're previewing the tag. Um, we then had Sai Kamatani and Momo Watanabe beat Sai Ida and Momo Kogo. Kamatani got the win for her team in 10 minutes with the Star Crusher.
Maya was out sick.
Yes, and they did a big angle about it. Momo was like, "Hey, where are you? What happened? Don't run away from me. I want to wrestle you."
Momo
So
is so funny because it's like she's like, "Do you know how much shit I've been had to do? Do you know how many places they've sent me? And you get sick and you can't show up to a house show."
yeah,
And I
it's
think that's really
incredible.
funny that Momo's like, "I'm getting overworked, underpaid, and Mayu Utani isn't here. I'm pissed."
It is quite the strategy. I guess they're doing Momo and Mayu.
What
Is that
happened
a
to fucking
historic
Azumi?
crossover? I don't know. I honestly have no idea. Maybe it won't be a historic crossover, but I honestly have no idea. Um, Now our next match was a battle royale to determine the two wrestlers who would go through for a New Japan Strong Women's Championship number one contenders, a fatal four-way match at Fighting Spirit Unleashed. The last two standing were Koguma and Hazuki, who are both going through to wrestle Anna Jay and an undecided wrestler on November 8th to determine who will challenge Mercedes Moné.
It'd be really
Um,
funny if what ended up happening was just Viva Van got in the match, and then Viva Van won. Um, and Hazuki and Koguma just went to fucking Lowell, Massachusetts, uh, for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know why Viva Van came to mind, but
Oh,
that's
she should win because I think she's awesome. That's
I
why
think
she came to
Koguma should
mind.
win.
Oh,
That's
I agree. I think Koguma winning is the ideal for me. I
yeah.
think that would be the best option. I think Hazuki win would be cool, but like I think Koguma would be
I think with Hazuki is we
cooler.
saw her and Monet do stuff already, whereas Koguma is
Which is
completely
why
untried
I think it's
territory.
more likely because I imagine Monet's like, I would like to get a singles match with her. Um,
Possibly.
like and obviously I think there's like a it's kind of a poorly kept secret that Monet just kind of picks her challengers in both companies at this point. Um, so it's very possible she's just like, I want to wrestle Hazuki again, and they were like, okay, we'll send you
I
Hazuki.
could see her being a big Koguma freak.
I like I said numerous times in DMs and on Twitter, I think it would be really funny if Mercedes just really wanted to do the Kuma pose. Um,
Yes.
and wanted
Yes.
to do wanted to like do the bits within that. I think that'd be awesome. Um,
This match was kind of interesting. They did a different take on the battle royale. It was a lot
this
of
is actually what I
splitting into
wanted to
singles
watch.
matches. Yeah, like they
Yeah,
split into singles a lot. They did a heavy Starlight Kid Hazuki thing, and then Kid was one of the first people eliminated. Because Hate basically pulled her and Soriano off the ropes. Then Lady C went, then Hanako went, then Rocca and Konami were against FWC. Then Rocca went out, and it was basically 2-on-1 with the baby faces, which
I
led to a
love that.
interesting dynamic. And so, like, Hate would try to cheat, but there was just two people to
I
contend
think
with,
it's
so they
I
just
think
couldn't.
the idea of FWC just simply being a better team than everybody else is awesome,
Yeah, because they did
and they
do that.
should
Like
do
Lady
that.
C, Hanako, like they just went like pair by pair, basically. Because Lady C and Hanako did pair up, so or they tried to
Yeah,
at least.
I kind of love the idea of FWC just being like just kind of being OP. I
Yeah.
mean, we have talked about like both in kayfabe and in booking, they kind of got the rug pulled out from under them with the title reign, uh, when Konami cheated, and then the titles got thrown in the garbage can effectively. Um, so in my mind, they're still like they might as well still be champions because they're the best team very clearly, both in kayfabe and out of kayfabe. So I think that's
Yes.
very funny that they're just like, okay, we're just gonna win this.
They did allude to it. They were like, "Nobody said we couldn't work together, so, like, it's not really our
Yeah,
fault." So that was kind
this
of
is
fun, but
this
yeah.
is the power of friendship, baby.
They did, like, fully tease Hazuki Kid again, though, so I feel like that's going to happen soon. They
Yeah,
did the
you know
mask
what?
tease as well.
This is not surprising because this happens all every time that kid gets unmasked or foam unmasked. Um, that angle, like the Hazuki.
Alright, okay, yeah, it sounded like you'd submerged your microphone. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
no, I was at like 5,000 ping for a second. It was
Jesus,
bad. That's
okay.
why I had to leave. Did you hear anything I said about the YouTube thing?
Yeah, but you sounded like a robot, but I made it out, you know? It
I
got a lot of
hope
views.
those of you at home made it out as well.
Yes,
Yeah, it's like a top 10, top 12 video on their YouTube page
that's
in
crazy.
a week. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Great angle. Still, I still think about how
Yes.
great that angle was. So shout to
It
them.
was it was
I
good.
love that. I love that we've gone back to Azuki being like, yeah, no, I'm still like I'm still like I'm fine. I just fucking hate her.
Yeah,
Like
honestly, like, why
I'm not
not?
a terrible person. I have friends. I love them. I love and support them. But kid, I'll murder.
In our main event then, we had Mei Seira, Suzu Suzuki, and Miyu Amasaki beat Tam Nakano, Natsuboya, and Yuna Mizumori. Mei got the win over Unimon with a shooting star in 17.5 minutes. This was just more preview of the high-speed tag, or the high-speed title match. They've basically run this as a preview for a couple weeks now. We've seen like all of the stuff that they're going to do. They do a lot of counters, a lot of flash pins, a lot of teases. So you kind of know what to expect from May and Unimon at this point in time.
I don't know if this is a take that's too harsh, but it is really disappointing that they created Neo Genesis right as their house show style got actively worse, um, and more bland, I guess, because they are like the most insane team. Like just like as a faction,
Mm.
they're so like strong at at these like tag matches, but I feel like it's just gotten really bogged down. Uh, and less interesting. I feel like Neo Genesis matches should be way more interesting than they are, uh, even on house shows because they're a great team. But I think the style is just weakened recently, which is unfortunate in my opinion.
They've gone the route that uh Rossi once went, where he had Syria and Utami preview tag for like 4 months, and it was like,
Yeah,
all right, we get it, we get it. And they kind of do that now with every match they do,
which
where they have
you
like
know,
6 previews and 3 50/50s, and you're
yeah,
like,
I
all
think it
right,
is
that's
very
cool.
Queen's Quest esque because it's like the thing about Queen's Quest was that they were always a great team, but they would get one artist challenge a year, they'd lose it, and they'd never like have like a meaningful team match again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, why aren't they trios champions? You know what I mean? Like, why aren't we doing Neo Genesis trios matches like all the time and like have the trios matches matter?
Mm.
Like, I don't like it's interesting in that regard, but I just thought I'd mention that we have a whole tournament to preview and whatnot.
We do, we do. So they did eventually announce the Goddess of Stardom Tag League. They are trying a different format this time. So the way
Kind of.
have seen it is the top 3 teams of either block are eligible to win. Teams in second and third will face each other to face the team in first to go through to the final. So
Like I
basically,
said, if
top
you
3 can all
open
win.
up my spreadsheet, you will. It's very clear, but
I
somebody
am
just won't open up
opening
my
it
spreadsheet.
now. I am
hmm
currently.
Spreadsheet is available now. I'm gonna tweet it right after we stop recording. I You could edit it or you can copy it and put it into your own thing, so you can like do predictions and whatnot. I'm not gonna do predictions this year, so I'm just gonna be updating the table as the tournament goes on, so everybody knows what the point total is in English because they don't do that anymore. I wonder why.
Red block seed 1 versus red block seed 2. Red block final. Yeah, I mean that's the same thing as I was saying, but
Well, yeah,
sure.
no, I was like, go to the playoff section, and then you see you get to
Yeah.
visually, you
Okay.
get to see it.
Number 2, number 3, number 1 versus winner of 2 and 3. Okay.
Yeah,
So they are going with that style. They are also doing a like the
which I don't mind because there's 9 teams in each block,
yes. Yeah.
so getting the top 3 through makes sense because it's like there are 28 people in this fucking tournament or something like that.
What interests me
Wait,
is
no,
they're
that's not how
doing
math works.
no, it's not. They're doing a
There's
split
36.
final where the block finals are on the 7th, and then the grand final is on the 8th as like a separate show. So I do wonder if they're gonna put, a bunch of title matches on that 8th of December show. But it is in Act City Hamamatsu, which is generally a small venue. But it does have multiple halls. So
Yeah, this is B. This is block B. Is what the hall they're running now is. I don't know what their previous one, what they used to run it in, or what they usually run it in. Um, but yeah, so it might be different. Wait, I can just look this up.
yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I wouldn't put it past them to try and run
Oh,
something
and
on the
let- let-
8th.
oh no, so it's the same run they usually do. It's the same venue.
The same venue, but it might be a different
No,
hall.
it's the same hall. I went back
Okay.
and looked it up.
Hmm. Yeah,
Last
I
time
don't
they
know
did
what they're gonna do.
700 uh in that hall for a
700?
house show. Yeah, in a house show.
Oh. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do honestly. Because I
I mean,
mean,
they could probably get it to 1,000, and that's fine for a tag league final, really.
yeah, but what do you run with that then? Like, do you just an
Um,
artist match or a tag title match? God forbid,
oh,
a world title
I
match.
listened to Scott's preview of the tournament very briefly from that last week, and he was like, "Well, obviously, Psy Queen, Konami, and Talsaya can't win because the champions are Momo and Tekla." And I was like, "Well, because you said that, Momo and Tekla are going to lose the belts to Meiser and Kohaku, so and Konami and Talsaya are going to win, and life is dumb because that's how we do things now."
I sure. Um,
Hmm.
okay. So
Thank you for agreeing.
they where did they announce the teams? Because I want to see all of the teams
They all
on all
have
of the
team
names.
names.
Yeah, they do. And they're not all. on the first and get all of them. So I just want to try and
No.
find it with names. Okay.
In fact,
So the
there's
red
not many
block.
people on the first day.
No, there's not. So the red block is Konami and Saya Kamitani, known as Sai Queen, the O2 line team of Azumi and Miwa Masaki, the MI 2000 team of Natsuko Tora and Rocca, uh, the inventively named Inaba and Yagami of Tomoka Inaba and Rana Yagami, Concave Anicon Convex
No,
of
it's
Siri
just
and
it's just
Takuma.
Anicon. Those are
Anicon.
emoticons. The
Okay,
convict
great,
things. Yeah, it's
fantastic.
just it's sister love. That's what that
Sisterly
is.
love, yes. Cup
Incestual.
High Mate, Micah and Hanako, because they drink.
I think
Haha.
it's yeah. Is it cup high or is it high mate?
I don't know.
I
I'm
I
just
think
going
cup
off
and
what
high.
they
I think yeah. I think how you pronounce it is high mate.
see.
I
Peach
don't know
Rock,
for sure though.
Mayu and Momokogo. Tam Nakano and Sayaka Kurara named Tokimeki Purin a la mode. Of course they are. FWC of Hazuki and Koguma rounds out the red block. So really looking at what, 2, 3, yeah, there's some good teams honestly in this block. You know,
Yeah.
there's some weak ones, but there's some good ones.
I feel like there's
I
like two
think it depends on
actively good
how
ones, two a good one on certain days, and then like two rookie met ones that are good.
kind of
It's kind of I don't know. This tournament's weird. I'm not gonna lie.
very. We're really looking at how Natsuko holds up over the course of the
Yeah,
tournament
yeah, I
because
would say so.
I obviously Xavier was talking about the Sendai girls, and he was like, "Dude, you
Hmm.
can tell Natsuko is not moving well when you put her against 200 kg." And I just kind of went, "Yeah, maybe she's cooked. I don't know. We'll have to wait and
Yeah,
see."
it's
Um,
funnily enough, I think her and everybody hated it, but I think her singles match stuff is like the only place that she can work because she could be so psychology heavy
mm,
that it like
the
the
submissions.
matches are well done. You know what I mean? Whereas like with Ruaka, like there needs to be a certain explosiveness to be in my 2000. That's why they exist. You know what I mean? They're this like big, like dominating, just like run you over tag team. Ruaka can still do that, but Natsuko can't really. So
Mm.
it does make it harder because BMI 2000 demands something different from Natsuko than what her single stuff does.
Yeah, we'll have to keep eyes on that because that could be the
Yeah,
key to like red block being good or red block being okay.
I agree.
The blue goddess block then is
Also, Psy
Waka.
Queen, terrible. I don't want to watch like any of their matches. I'm gonna be real.
I feel like they could be sneaky good for me. Like I could see myself really enjoying their stuff. Maybe.
X Queen Quest.
Blue
That's what I call them.
goddess is Wakasuyama and Rian, known as Reckless Fantasy. Team Classroom, Hina and Lady C. That's very fun. I like that name. Um, Devil Princess of Rina and Azusa Inaba, the New Blood Tag Champs. Sakura Damon. Sakura Damon.
I just put
Sakura and
Cosmic
Unimon.
Angels. I had no idea what the fuck that was.
Yeah. Star Fox, Mei Sarah, and Kohaku. I predicted that team. I was
They're
literally
gonna
like,
get
oh, they're going to
sued.
team. And then they did. Wing Gori, Hanan and Saida. Mad Tiger Girl, Starlight Kid, and Suzu Suzuki.
Cr- Crazy Tigress.
Great, crazy Tigress, yes. Natsu and Sayori of
Tom
Natsupoi
and
and
Jerry.
Soriano. hmm And our Hate Supreme, Momo Watanabe and Tekla, the
Yeah, I don't know if
Goddess
you
of
saw
Stardom
the post
champions.
that Suri and Natsupoi were like, yeah, I mean, we used to be called, or no, Sayori was like, yeah, I mean, we used to call ourselves Tom and Jerry because we're a lot like Tom and Jerry from that hit TV show Tom and Jerry. But I guess we grew out of that. I still like Tom and Jerry, but I guess we're just Suri and Poi now. Or Natsu and Suri. I'm just calling them Tom and Jerry. I'm not gonna lie, that's their team name. I've
It's a good
decided.
name. Yeah, the blue goddess is kind of rough when you
Sometimes, uh,
the
I feel like they have like
the latter half definitely gets better, but those
yeah,
first
I think
couple might be
Kid and Suzu, Ano and Natsupoi, Meiser and Kohaku, and Rina and Azusa are enough to make this like a good block. But the other ones are rough. I mean, Waka and Rian and Momo and Tekla, I really don't like either of those
Momo and
teams
Tekla. I
at
forgot.
all.
Yeah,
Hina and Lady C and Unimon and Aya, I think are like fine. Like I don't have any problem with them, but I don't think they're going to add much to the block overall. But then everybody else, I think, is really good. I think that's the difference. I think Red Block they have O2 line as like super consistent, and they have FWC as super consistent. Otherwise, there is something wrong with many of these teams. Tomoka and Yagami, could be good. Same with
I think they
Tamkara, I
will.
guess. But I think that like Blue Block has way more sure things than Red Block, but I think Red Block
Yeah,
has FWC and Mayu. So it's like
it's true. I don't know, P-Trock
and
though.
O2 line for that matter.
I feel like we've seen P-Trock before, and it was mostly okay.
It was fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I
You
guess
also have
we
to wonder
can.
how motivated Mayu is for this tag league this year. I'm not gonna
That's a
lie.
good question. Yeah, the 26th of October, this tournament kicks off in Shinjuku Sumitomo Hall. We have a couple of block matches. In Red Goddess, we have Hazuki and Koguma versus Natsuko Tora and Ruaka. I feel like that's a BMI 2000
That'll
win.
probably be the main.
Yeah,
And yeah, I think BMI 2000 could win there. I mean,
I would
Suzuki is
imagine like FWC's eventually get the babyface win against Hate. That's kind of the angle with Konami
yeah.
being the one to
So
keep them out of the belts.
so
But
since we're kind of previewing the tournament, before we get into this card, who do you think are the three from each block that are getting through?
I have no idea. Like I've literally paid no mind to this tournament at all. um, I guess Psy Queen because they love Kamatani. Um,
Yeah.
FWC and maybe O2 Lion from Red. From
I
Blue,
feel like it's
Sayori.
possible to get Hanako and Micah in there over either O2 line or Psy Queen, but I agree that yeah, probably FWC, one of those two,
Mm.
and Psy Queen, I would say. I think
You
O2
probably
line
do
and Hanako are
Suzu
fighting.
Kid as well, so they can wrestle
Yes,
FWC at some point. Maybe that's the final.
I think that's the final.
You probably put Sayori Poi through because they're Sayori Poi, and maybe Wingori.
I would
But
love
I have
Wingori.
no idea for the third blue team. I cannot lie to you. Like, there's
Wait, you
no
just said
clear
three.
standout there. Yeah,
You
but
just said
I'm
three.
not fully sure of Wingori. Like that's just the
I think
point.
I think Wingori. It's gonna be Wingori or Hate Supreme. I
It's,
I
I
find
don't
that
see
name
them going
so
into that
that
round. I don't think they'll do that. They'll just like
I think well, and
cheat.
if you look at the schedule very briefly, I think that Wingori gets in third place, and they beat Momo and Tekla on the final day to get that spot. Because that's their last block match is Momo and Tekla versus Hana and Saya. So I think Wingori wins that, gets like kind of like the upset, and then gets through in some capacity, whether it's at 3 or 2. Definitely not the
Mm,
winners, but
okay,
I think
I
I
can
think
see it.
Wingori gets through, and I think SOK and Suzu probably win the block overall, and
Yeah, no,
like
I can see that.
win their side, and they probably get through to FWC. I think that's the final. It's FWC versus Crazy Tigers.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm into it. I'm into it. What was next? Is this the same show? Yes.
Sorry, but yeah, FWC probably loses to BMI 2000
Yeah,
first day.
for sure. Mayu Utani and Momo Koga versus Azumi and Miyu Amasaki of O2 Line. It's
That's O2
probably
line.
O2 Line.
Yeah.
Siri and Saki Kashima versus Konami and Sai Kamatani. That seems like Saki's like once a year getting one over on Hate thing. She should pin Saya because that would be really funny of just like Saki Kashima constantly being the one to upset Saya Kamatani.
hmm I like
I'd
that.
be into that. Um, then Starlight Kid and Haruka Umasaki team up against Momotnabe
What?
and Rina
Wait,
in a non-tournament match. It's
what
non-tournament.
the fuck? What's
Yeah,
Umasaki doing here?
I have no idea, but she's here to
Wait,
team
why
with
isn't she in
Starlight
the
Kid.
tournament?
I don't want her in the
Because
tournament.
no, first of all, Umasaki, Scott even agrees she's good now. She's been good,
What?
but that's funny. Um,
When did that happen?
her and Eureka Oka had a fucking banger in
Dude,
Sendai a couple weeks
everybody
ago.
has a banger with Eureka Oka. She's incredible.
She also had a banger with Momo Watanabe. Haruka
Everybody,
Umasaki is just good.
everybody
She's
has
just
good
good.
ones.
Okay, let her be good. Allow her to be good. Okay,
Fine.
jeez.
Okay, I will
But
see this weekend.
it
I
was
guess.
funny that last week, I was like, "Oh, they might get Umasaki," and you're like, "Ah, they'll probably get Kohaku in." And they got Kohaku in the tournament, but they got Umasaki on the shows. It's like, what are we doing?
Who knows? Um, Oh yeah, she is feuding with Momo Watanabe, so that kind of makes sense. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's that one. Mina Shirakawa, Maika, and Hanako versus Suzuki Saida and Rani Yagami. Oh, interesting. Okay.
So how?
Um,
Wait, that's weird.
it's also
Um,
non-tournament, but that's a
so how do we
fascinating
feel? Are
pairing
we
of
going to be
lines.
watching non-tournament matches, or are we going to be watching tournament matches? Like, what do we care about more?
Generally, I say no, but I feel like these ones look really fun. So
I
if
mean,
we
I'll
have
watch
time,
those, yeah, but I'm
yeah,
just saying, like, what's the mandatory? And
no,
actually, if you're in the Discord, reach out. Let us know if. I mean, we aren't going to listen to you if you say review every single match
no,
that happens, because fuck you.
not a chance.
No, um, that's difficult when it's a tournament. But how do you feel? Should we like keep
There's
reviews
like 20 days of this thing.
structurally to?
I don't think I
I know
can
that's also
handle
what
it.
I'm thinking. Like there are some shows that have like no block matches on. The Fukuoka show, they haven't announced what they're doing with FWC and Micah. They aren't in block matches. They aren't on the card yet. They it's just
Oh, I forgot
nothing.
about that one. Yeah, the Fukuoka thing. Yeah,
And like
Fukuoka triple.
most people are on the card. Like there are 5 tournament matches on that card.
Mm.
So I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. But
Mercedes and her crew are gonna come in for a preview tag.
and they're gonna
Totally.
lose.
Maybe depends on
They're
who
gonna
her
come into
crew is.
Fukuoka. Um, but yeah,
Mercedes,
just
because
let
I'm testing that nerddom of Mercedes Monet. If you're not here for Fukuoka Triple Crazy, then I don't know. But our next match is a Blue Goddess block match. It is Hina and Lady C versus Wakasukiyama and Rian. I mean, Lady C probably gets a win because she's the tall one.
that's gotta be like an opener that goes 3 minutes, right?
I pray. I really hope so.
I think Hina and Lady C should win that. I don't think Waka and Rian should like win any match if I'm being honest. Um,
Probably not. Rian
I don't
doesn't
think it's
do that.
necessary. So yeah, I hope Lady C and Hina win.
So our main event of this opening show, well, on this card anyway, it's Natsupo and Soriano versus Mei, Sarah, and Kohaku. So I could see that going to a draw depending on where it is on the card.
I think Miss Sarah and Koa could probably lose, but
Probably.
of anything, I mean, well, yeah, it depends on what the main event is. If that's the main event, then I think Soripo or Tom and Jerry win. Uh, but
Okay.
if it is and if it is the main event, I think that BMI 2000 FWC might go to a draw. If there is a draw on this show,
There's going to be a
I
draw.
yeah. So I feel like oh, that's crazy. I thought this only happened in Marigold. Anyway, I think that Natsuko and Ruaka and Hazuki and Koguma, uh, if they're the main event, then BMI 2000 wins. If they're not, they draw. And same alternatively for Natsuko and Soriano. If that's the main event, they win. If it's not, they draw.
Okay. All right. Our next show then is on the 27th, the day after, in Korakuen Hall. So we have day 2 there. On the show, we have a high-speed championship match when Mei Seira defends against Yuna Mizumori. It's probably a successful retention by
Sure as hell
Mei.
hope so.
Yeah, I don't think Unimon is close to this belt just yet.
Yeah, I'm excited for the match though.
Yeah, no,
I
I
like
think their
I like
previews
these
have been fun.
these high speed matches in Korakuen. They're fun.
Yeah. All right. Um, Then we get into a Red Goddess block action. Maika and Hanako take on Azumi and Miyu Amasaki. Yeah, you probably have Maika win considering she's one of the top stars there.
Yeah, I even think Hanako can maybe beat Miyu, or the other way
Yeah.
around.
Oh yeah,
I think
I
either of those
guess
can happen.
you want to. We then have Mai Utani and Momokogo versus Konami and Sai Kamatani. That is a definite Sai Queen win.
Yeah.
Um, in non-tournament action, Starlight Kid and Suzu Suzuki take on Hina and Rani Yagami. That's fun. Then Mina Shirakawa wrestles Sai Ida and Lady C in a 3-way match. So huzzah. We get back to block action for Wakasukiyama and Rina versus no
Rihan.
Wakasukiyama and Rian versus Rina and Azusa Inaba, which is probably a win for the New Blood Tag Champs.
Yeah.
All right. We then have in the Red Goddess block match Hazuki and Koguma versus Suri and Saki Kashima, which we would have as FWC getting their first points.
hmm
Okay. And then in
Definitely
the
the
main
first win.
event, yeah, I think so. In the main event, we have Tam Nakano, Natsupoi, Saori Aono, Aya Sakura, and Sayaka Kurara versus Dump Matsumoto, Zap, Natsuko Tora, Momo Watanabe, and Ruaka.
Wait,
This
who's
will
the
almost
babyface team? What faction is it?
Cosmic Angels.
Okay, that should be
Yes.
fine. I
Yeah.
can't do any more EXV versus fucking Goku Akadome.
Yes. It's not ideal.
It's fucking terrible. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's such a terrible pairing. I think them and Cosmic Angels should be a lot more fun.
You'd hope
We'll
so.
see.
But yeah, this will be one of the last attempts, I'd imagine, of ringing something out of Dump, because she is. Everybody's trying to do it. Like
She's
Wave
working
has
more
her on their
dates this
Korakuen.
year than she
Yeah, Oz
did
Academy has her on Yokohama. Like,
in
everybody is trying to get
2005.
a date. Everybody is trying to draw based off of Dump Matsumoto. So I wouldn't begrudge anyone for trying. And Stardom at least fits, considering Hate is
Hey,
kind of like full on
get
homage.
pay my girl Dump, okay? Pay her good. I
Yes,
don't
pay
mind.
Dump. That's what
Uh,
we want.
Chigusa, pay Dump to wrestle against Karada, please, thank you.
I think if Nagayo could run that match, she would have.
Not by now. I think she's like, do you know how much money we could make, Karada, please? I will pay you 90% of the of the take of the fucking I forget of the gate.
Do
Just
you think
please.
Karada would have to work the bar in the karaoke bar?
Man, I've thought
Um,
about that. It's like because like we always talk about like oh like because Takumi has like on Twitter been like, hey, you should get back in the ring, like to the I think it was the Lioness actress. She was like, man, I miss training. It was a lot of fun. And Takumi's like, you could always come back. I mean, doors open. And she's like, ha ha, yeah. So
Takumi's
I mean,
angling in front of the nice car.
yeah,
She wants that.
I do wonder like what they would do if they got one of those actresses to like sign on to do matches. Like, would they do a
Um,
Fuwa-chan type gimmick, or would they be like, "No, you're going through the dojo again. You're doing the protest, motherfucker."
Nagayo is a strange woman. I think she'd make them
That's
train.
that's what I mean. I mean that she would make them train, obviously, but like, is she gonna put them through a protest, like that type of thing? You know what
Probably.
I mean?
Yeah. I think they
I think
they
that'd be
they get the
fascinating.
works. I don't know though. Like it's not gonna happen. But like I know she's really angling for it. Um, but that's that on Stardom. We will return next week with our Tag League coverage. We turn attentions now to Marigold, who ran one show this past weekend. It only went up earlier, so again, I only checked out the key bits, which was the last two matches, basically.
Yeah, I've
Um,
been catching up on those 3 shows that they uploaded at the same time this past week.
that was crazy.
Yeah, there was some fun stuff on those.
Yeah, the house shows
I
are
liked it.
are nice if you have nothing else
Mirai and My
to do.
Sakurai are like fucking tremendous.
Yes. On this show on the 20th in Nagano, of all places, the Nagano ARCS, a very small hall, they announced an attendance of 203 fans, which I don't know if you could fit 200 seats in that venue, but it's not my business. Natsumi Suzuki beat Komo Manami in the opener. Bazilla beat Chiaki in 7 minutes in the next match. Toki and Nanai beat Misamatsuri and Nao Ishikawa in 12 minutes. And then 15-minute time limit draw between Miko Aono, Nagisa Nozaki, and Utami Hayashishita. Yeah, this was a good match. Obviously, there was enough of the Nagisa Aono stuff to preview their match, but they didn't like completely throw Utami to the side. She was involved enough to make basically like tease matches with both wrestlers. I thought her and
Mhm.
Aono really got me excited. I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. Her and Nagisa was good. Again, I thought Nagisa, yeah, that she has a motivation to work towards is really unleashed her better stuff in Marigold, and I thought her and Aono made me excited for their white belt match.
Yeah, I don't want to have a seething rant about this. But can we stop saying that Utami like sucks in Marigold or something? Like she fucking rules. She's doing some of her most inspired work in years outside of like the cage match, obviously. Like motherfuckers just aren't watching. And that's fine, but I don't know. If you're going to have a take on oh, Marg Utami's wasted on being in Marigold. It's like I don't know if you could see it, but she's very clearly like again more motivated than she has been since like her title run.
Yeah, this is the best she's been in, like, forever. I'm not
Yeah,
even I'm not even, like, joking here. She is doing
I
so
mean
well.
we gassed it up a lot, but it's like they had the best tournament final of any company in wrestling. Her and Mai Sakurai, and
Yes.
like that's I feel like that's a pretty like it's a I wouldn't maybe it's not like far and away because I did like you know like Zach and Yoda and like some other, but like really, it's not much of a debate in my opinion. Like they killed it, and Utami is like at one of the highest levels you ever see her at, and people are just I don't know that specifically. So many there's so many bad Marigold takes. But I think that one specifically is that it's like, oh, or I even saw people be like, oh, Utami is watching Sayakamatani Azumi have fun over in Stardom, and she's hating her life. I was like, that's literally the opposite of what is currently happening.
I saw Tommy give a rose to Venny. I think she's winning.
Yeah, like
But
I don't know.
I
I
don't
mean,
know, man.
she just seems like oh, I'm not trying. I'm just saying. I think Utami takes in the year 2024 are some of the dumbest I've ever seen, in the Joshi
Marigold
world.
has brought out an insane side of people,
Oh,
and
no doubt.
a lot of it I won't dispute. If you hate Rossi's guts, that is fine. I don't love Rossi, you know, contrary to popular belief. He's a businessman. He's probably a bad person. He exploits all of his talent. Promoters exploit talent. It is what it is.
He's a disciple of a Matsunaga, man. Like I mean,
Yes,
ultimately,
like
like
I'm not gonna
I'm
fight
not gonna for
you.
him, but
Yeah,
like I don't
but
know. I
like
think he's good at booking personally.
he is. But this idea of like, oh, Marigold is just bad wrestling made by a bad person to filter people to WWE, and I'm like, one wrestler got signed by WWE who they were tapping up since last year. Like they were going to get Julia regardless of what Marigold did. Like that was happening. And in return for that, Rossi got to do a full goodbye show, like a full tour, sold off the back of Julia is leaving. He got her in a Sumo Hall main event to put over Sari, and he got Io Shirai. If that's that's funneling talent to WWE, I think he's doing something really smart.
Like
And
I had a take the other day. I texted widescreen about it. That's like I honestly would like if they threw an NXT wrestler on the fucking house shows for a couple months. That would be cool.
yeah,
I don't think Rossi wants to do that.
doesn't doesn't at
Like
all.
I don't know. Like I don't think I think he just wants Io around,
Wants Io.
frankly. And
Yeah,
do you
maybe
blame
wants
him?
Julia sometimes. If
Yeah,
she's around. I don't know. It's
that's
insane
just
to me because like it's just all of the signs point towards a lot of that being wrong. But yeah, the wrestling is also not bad. I think Marigold's wrestling is far from perfect, but like the high end stuff is insane. I mean, Nanai Takahashi is having a career year over here. Like,
yeah. I
what's
also
not to
think
enjoy?
I think most of the main roster has a pretty high floor, in my
Yeah,
opinion. Like obviously the rookies are pretty rough. Uh, the first handful, the Manamis especially, are not great. Um, but I think like anybody that came to Marigold and didn't debut in Marigold is great, or at the very least like good and fun to watch. Like most of the time, I would say. But that's just me. I know you hate Kazuna, but we'll talk about that later.
I don't hate Kazuna. She's just not good right now. But that's um yeah. Anyway, I thought this was a good three-way match. They worked everybody in. They got me
Yeah,
excited for a couple matches. Good stuff. The main event then was Mai Sakurai, Mirai, and Myla Grace beating Kazuna Tanaka, Rhea Seto, and Victoria Yuzuki in just under 16 minutes. Mai Sakurai actually submit Rhea with the
with the STF.
STF. Yeah, they tried to do like a Kazuna squaring up to Mirai thing, but she is so she is so unintimidating that I was like, this is
Yeah,
not going to end well for you. Um, and then I think Victoria Yuzuki really stole the show. I thought her preview
yeah,
stuff
she
made me
does.
go, okay, we need to build this title match around Victoria Yuzuki. But it really feels like they're going to build it around Kazuna.
I think the reason why they're not putting it around Victoria Yuzuki is because they don't want her to lose again. I mean, she's
Maybe.
going to lose, but they don't want her to get pumped up to get beat down. They're pumping
Yes.
up
It
Kazuna to
was
get
weird
beat
though, because
down.
Kazuna was mainly paired with Mila. So like she wasn't even doing a ton of
That is interesting.
tag debut stuff.
Maybe to like give that's too 3D. That's too like 4D chess to give the idea that Kazuna might win the match because she's not pinning Mirai or Mai Sakurai, so they put her with Mila so that she looked imposing. Um,
Maybe.
comparably at least.
I also thought Milo was way better than Kazuna in this match, which was when I realized Kazuna's just not it. Um,
That's insane. Like I don't even disagree. I think Milo's just like good now, which is cool.
she
But
is, but I also thought Kazuna used to be good now, and now she's not. And Rei Sato is better. So
that is insane.
I don't know. I think
And
Rei.
I really
Kazuna
like
just
Reyes.
missed it. Kazuna did like a kick and she missed, and I was like, oh, this is where we're at. Her
She
stuff
needs to
isn't
stop doing
landing.
kicks.
She
She
can't.
needs to
She
stop
can't hit
doing
her
kicks.
kicks.
Okay,
Like
she just needs to
what
stop
does
doing
she
kicks.
actually offer to this promotion beyond being the kid of two wrestlers?
Well,
Speaking of which,
she's
Mirai flamed her dad. Her dad followed
yes, I did
Mirai,
see
and she
that.
was like, "You keeping an eye on me, you bitch?" And I went, "Where has this Mirai been all my
I
life?
mean,
She is
I mean,
so
we
nasty."
talked about Utami upgrading. I mean, Mirai is a whole different story. She's like
Yeah.
the best. She's the
There was
biggest
a
beast I've
real
ever seen.
split of like 2 or 3 people took Marigold as an opportunity to like reach a new level in ring. Mirai and Yuzuki decided to just be absolute dickheads to everybody, and I for one appreciate that. So
Yeah,
yeah, I thought this
but no,
match
I
really
think
just made me think Yuzuki is awesome, and I need her to get the shine in the tag match. But I do feel like they'll end up focusing on Mirai and Kazuna, and unless
mhm.
Mirai steamrolls her, I think Kazuna's gonna fall short. So
I think Kazuna is kind of fucked from the jump with you especially because I think her best stuff is the technical stuff, and you'll never like that. And I think she wants to diversify from that, and she's trying different things. And I think ultimately, what is going to be the best is her just doing the technical stuff, like her mom, frankly, and her dad for that matter. Because I think her arm bars are always really cool. Her transitions into the arm bars are cool. She has some of like the more like snappy offense, like that. Like I really like the redream. I think that's like a cool move, for example. Just the more like fast paced kind of snappy thing. I don't think the striking is going to work. And I don't think like that like high speed style works for her either, especially when she's right next to Yuzuki, who is very clearly better than her at it. So I think her leaning a bit more into the techers is what's best for her, and leaning away from the kicks because she's really bad at kicks.
yeah,
She needs to
yeah,
stop
she
trying to
missed
do those.
Milo by like at least 2 people's
She,
length of
I,
like it
she's
was
yeah.
not
That's
fun.
probably like my biggest issue with her is her strikes. I think like either they don't look strong enough or she just whiffs.
Mm,
Like it's very rare that she really just like in the Nanai tag at the last Korakuen. That was one instance of me being like, okay, yeah, she can have some sauce, but I
too
don't think
much.
that's an always thing. I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. She's still new, you know.
Yeah.
We gotta give these people time to adapt, I guess. We do have 2 shows to in the coming week to preview. The first is on Thursday, the 24th. This is Marigold Fantastic Adventure at Korakuen Hall. We open up with Komomo Minami and Minami Yuki versus Chiaki and Myla Grace. Boy, oh boy. Chiaki and Myla probably win.
Chiaki continues to try to get the white woman in the Dark Wolf army.
Yes.
She
We
failed with Zeta because she left too quickly.
It's a shame. We then have Utami Hayashishita and Koki versus Chikoto and Rhea Seto, which is probably Utami over Rhea.
Yeah. I'm interested if they're gonna keep doing Koki and Utami because they did. That is a tag team they booked for the next show as well.
Yeah, could do. Maybe just while Twin Tower are cooling down after their loss.
Mm.
We then have the Naho Yamada debut match as she takes on Misa Matsui. I think this will
I'm
tell us
excited for
obviously a
this.
lot about where Naho slots in. If she wins and jumps above Matsui, I would be really surprised, but she is a very natural pro wrestler. I could see them really liking her, but I think she's maybe going to be more like lower card entertainment. She has said she's going to sing, which kind of fits her vibe. So I think she's going to sing herself to the ring.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I am interested to see kind of how she stacks up and where to kind of slot her in because I feel like she's going to be very adept. Like she can kind of go wherever they need her, which they don't have a lot of people who can do that. So she's going to be valuable.
Yeah. I'm excited to see like as someone who hasn't watched any undercard uh actress girl stuff, I am excited to watch this match and the Mockingbird match. I think
Mockingbird.
nah Hummingbird.
Hummingbird. Yeah, get with it.
Mockingbird, Hummingbird, tomato
They're
tomato.
very different they're very different. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm a very different person here. I gotta show on set. No. Yeah, I'm excited for this match, frankly, and I loved the build. That it was like now I was like, yeah, I adore this woman. And I want to beat the fuck out of her because of it. I was like, yeah, shit, you do you, homegirl. That's real. So I'm hoping that it ends up being good, and I'm hoping we get another one of those wrestlers that I mentioned like before. Most of this company has a pretty like decent floor for just like quality of work. Maybe they don't hit like the heights of other companies, but I'm really hoping Naho stays consistent with that floor and not the rookie
Well,
floor.
the actress folks haven't steered them wrong. It's their own
Exactly.
trainees, funnily enough, that are dragging it down. Like the Nahos and stuff have, or not the Nahos, like Matsui and Koki and them have really taken to this very quickly. So
Yeah.
I trust the
I mean,
actress.
Koki, we're at a point where Koki's like one of my favorites on the roster. I love the entire roster, frankly, but
Yes.
I'm really just starting to be like, damn, like Koki's just like she kind of is can't miss. She's really good.
She's coming along very quickly. Um, we then have a passion injection match. Nai Takahashi takes on Now Ishikawa in what feels like a breaking point for their friendship. Um, I know people have kind of said now Ishikawa should win, but Nanai got that result against Sari that indicated
Yeah,
they might
that's what I
do
was just
a
thinking.
title match. I don't know if you obviously can't have Nanai go into that match off the back of losing to Now. So I don't fully know where to
Maybe
go
a
with this.
draw. I
Um,
think this is a
yeah.
smart play. I know people hate time limit draws. I think this is the smartest place you could put a draw.
Well, the
Because
passion injection draws are very different. Like they are definitely more earned than regular
I think
draws.
now winning a draw, like her, like I think Nanai just beating the fuck out of her, fucking 80-20, but
Mm,
now just keeps kicking out.
yeah, now
I think
survives.
that I think that's what puts now over here without making Nanai take a fall here. Because I agree. I don't think Nanai should take a fall right now. Especially because I still want to see that Sairi match, even if it is after
Like,
first
do they have
stream.
a
I want to see
tournament
Nanai
in
challenge.
November? I assume they do. Like, they're gonna
They
need
have
stuff.
to.
And they have one in December as well, don't they? Like 23rd or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, they're gonna
Oh
need
yeah, I think they do.
another world title match.
Maybe I
So
don't know. Like I think they're being very much like the white belt is the belt that goes on defense every Korakuen pretty much. The red belt is only
but even
very
then,
strongly earned.
Nanai has also been like, "I would like to wrestle
With Aono.
Iono." So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think
I
she
do
can
think
lose
that
here.
the nine needs like I don't think yeah, I agree. She can't lose here. I would really like a draw with now surviving
Mhm.
and then I being like, you know what? You might not have won, but you're getting closer and then they link back up and they're homies again.
Yeah. Who else got the draws? Did Ida get a draw, or was it Kid?
I think Ida lost. I think Kid got a
Yeah, I
draw.
can't remember because I know there was somebody in
Oh wait,
Stardom
no,
who got
Nanai
the
lost.
draw on the
No,
passion.
Kid lost. I remember that. I remember that very vividly. Everybody was so
Of
upset. I was
course.
like, "That's fucking hilarious."
Yeah, because I know somebody
um,
in Stardom, like, earned the draw with Nanai, and it was, like, a big thing, but
I'm
maybe I'm
interested now.
completely
I'm
wrong.
gonna look back.
That's gonna
Let's
take
see.
forever, unless they
No, it's
have
not.
passion injection on the cage match,
Uh,
which they probably do.
no, nobody drew.
Oh, okay, alright, I'm just way off, so
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Alright, well, our next match then, Super Flyweight Championship, Natsumi Shizuki defends against the debuting Hummingbird. I mean, look, Hummingbird is going to join as like one of the better wrestlers here. Anybody who saw Cat Mask was very high on the potential of Cat Mask. I briefly was joking with people that she was like the reincarnation of Arisa Hoshiki because she was throwing Brazilian kicks and shit. Very versatile pro wrestler who I think is going to blow people away if she's still delivering at the level she was when she left Actress. Um, but I think Shozuki wins here because I don't see her dropping this belt until they get the Matsui rematch.
Going through this Nanai's cage match, I forgot that she fucking beat Scandinavian Hurricane in a UWF match
Oh
where
my
she's
god,
elbowed her in
remember
the
that?
face like 7 times.
They were
Uh,
shooting.
fucking
That was
badass.
great.
She was
Yeah.
the passionate the what was it the passion effect uh where she would just do the spinning back elbows over and over again. Yeah, I'm actually super excited for this match. I don't think Hummingbird wins, obviously. I think that you know she gets humbled here a little bit, but I just really like her vibe. I think she's really
Mm.
cool. She's jacked. She posted a picture of her muscles the other day. I was like, damn. I thought she was like a lanky, like and she's Jack. That's awesome. Um, and yeah, I'm excited. I really want to see how well she does here. I think it's cool to have another higher speed wrestler, high flying wrestler, because I think that's kind of something that Marigold's missing. Even the high speed wrestlers aren't that high flying, really. Outside, I guess you could say Yuzuki. But so I'm really excited to see that. I think that'll be fun, and also she kicks people, and that's cool. I hope she continues to kick people.
All right. We then have the Twin Star Championship match. Mirai and Mai Sakurai defend against Victoria Yuzuki and Kazuna Tanaka. Um, as we were saying, like this is Mirai and Mai probably steamrolling one of Kazuna or Yuzuki eventually. But they are
Well, I
going
don't
to
know.
shine up
I think
the losing team regardless.
I'm like 80% Mirai my Sakurai win, 20% uh
There's no
Flora.
way this team gets the belt before Twin Tower.
I don't know if you know this, but Kazuna has already done that. Like
Wade
Kazuna's
does not count.
already done this like crazy,
Yeah,
like,
no.
oh my god, upset win. And I think that could happen here. And I think it would be an interesting story if they won it and then Twin Towers like, wait a fucking minute. There's no way these fucking losers won the belts, you know what I mean? And like I think that's a way to continue their
No,
feud.
no. I think Twin Tower wins it, and that's when Yuzuki and Kazuna would
I
get it
think you like I'm
from
not
that.
opposed to your thinking, but I think you are thinking a bit too formulaic. I
I
think
don't
it's
know. I
very
think they had
possible.
that draw at Sumo Hall that made it seem like this is gonna be a long-term thing that
Exactly. And
they
I
go
think
back
I
to.
think
But
the
Twin Tower
two
are the de facto like big team there.
but
These are the underdogs.
that's my point. My point is that in that match at Sumo Hall, the idea was that like, oh shit, like they got one upped by Kazuna and Yuzuki. That's
Mhm.
wild. Didn't expect that to happen. I think Kazuna and Yuzuki one upping them until Twin Tower like finally get the win and then they are 50-50 and they, are rivals, whatever. I think that's possible. Like I said, I'm like 80% sure that Murai Saku's just winning. But I do think it would be an interesting way to go with like a shock win from Kazuna and Yuzuki, especially the way that Mirai has been burying Kazuna big time. I think them getting that like shock upset would be uh,
You
maybe
think
not
they do
earned, but I
the
think it'd be interesting
Think they do the big near fall on Kazuna's mom's finisher again? She pulled that
potentially.
out on a house
She
show
won it,
and won.
yeah.
So the Submariner, isn't it?
Yep,
Submariner? Yeah, I wonder if they do a near fall on that because
potentially.
that's like the big established finish now for Kazuna. So I could see it. Um, but yeah, I'm going Mirai and my Sakurai. I think they probably do a Dark Wolf Army challenge soon, given the nature of the Nagisa Mirai draw. Um, so I think this reign continues for just a little bit. Speaking of Nagisa, though, she's in our semi-main event. Miko Aono defends the United National Championship against Nagisa Nozaki. This is a Miko Aono retention. I don't think she's dropping to Nozaki, and definitely not on V2. Um, yeah, I think this could be a great match. Their previews have been pretty strong, and I don't know. I think Nagisa, when she's locked in, is just really talented, and Miko Ono is obviously just insane. So, yeah, I think this has potential to really steal the show.
Yeah, I think it could be really, really good. I don't know. I'm a Nozaki fan, as everybody knows. I think that could be a fun match. I'm not too like I'm not getting my hopes too high because it's always possible that they just like crumble and don't click, but I think they will click ultimately, because they have in all of the previews and whatnot. And I think Nozaki is a really good big match wrestler. She was just kind of like miscast as like this ace type for a long time. I think that like putting her in a big match situation where she doesn't have to be the ace figure and she could just be the asshole that her character's born to be. I think it could be a really, really good and fun time. So I'm
I
excited
enjoyed
about
her
it.
Regina runs though.
Oh, so did I. I loved them, but I also recognize that like, you know, her bread and butter is being a heel more than being a babyface,
Mhm,
and
suppose.
I think that would be a lot of fun. Like I said, I love the Regina run personally, the one that I watched at least, so the most recent one before she got hurt. Or no, I watched two of them. I just loved. I like her as a big match wrestler. I think she's really really good, and I think that she is At this point, she's way stronger than she probably should be, having like broke her leg 7 different places.
Yeah, no, I think she's motivated as well. I mean, the
Yeah.
semi-main event of Korakuen is the time to turn it on. But yeah, that's that one. Miku not dropping yet. I'd imagine we'll know when time is up for her because she's got a few like really obvious next steps for that belt. So we'll have to wait and see then. And then in our main event, the Marigold World Championship, Sari versus Bozilla. Yeah, I'm really excited for this. I think their GP match was really good. I think the story going into this makes it really interesting. You know, Sari is really on the back foot for probably the first time since she left WWE. Like this is the first time she's ever really faced a mountain to climb. And it's
Hashimoto.
just, I guess
This is
even
the
then
second
though, they're
mountain.
equals. Like we've seen them beat each other before. Whereas this is somebody
Yeah.
she just can't get the better of. You know, Bozilla she has this power bomb, she has all this so like the moonsault and the jumps, and Sari is just like, what am I supposed to do here? And so I think that's fascinating. I think it's going to be probably one of the most interesting Sari matches of the year, just because I don't think she can approach it the way she approaches every other match. She really has to take a different tact to it. And I'm also expecting Bozilla to have a few tricks up her sleeve. You know, we've talked a lot about how smart Bozilla is. I think she's probably got
Yep.
something that we've never seen before that she's going to try here.
I anticipate Saori being very smart. Is my mom taking a shower? Damn. Okay. No, the fucking plumbing just started going. I was like, damn. But yeah, I think we're gonna have Saori being very smart. I think she's going to kind of like I brought it up. Scott is doing an interview with Saori, and I brought up as a potential question about like how the power bomb in the first match was kind of like the through line of the match and how Saori ended up losing. So I imagine that that will kind of be vindicated in a way where it's like either she will completely avoid the power bomb because she knows better now that she just can't handle it, or she survives the power bomb and she is stronger now than she was at the time of their last match. I think things like that, you know, like tying up the quote unquote loose ends of their first match, that she left there purposefully for this next match. I think that will be, you know, a big selling point of the match and a really well done aspect of the match. And I expect them to have just as good, if not a better match than they did in the Grand Prix because I feel like this has the full story to it. That one had Bozilla. You can't beat Bozilla. That was the story of that match. You can't. Even though somebody did, you can't. Um, I think that this match will be, you know, you can't beat Bozilla except when you can. And that'll be Saori figuring out how to do that. So I like these sorts of stories where it's just a 1-2 punch, 50-50. I think when you do it like this, it works. And I'm really hoping that this match is awesome because I think it should be.
Yeah, and I also wonder what like Sari will do to get the win. I
Hmm.
doubt she'll be able to lift Bozilla.
But if she does, I
For the
think that's a
suplex.
huge spot,
Yeah,
which
that's
I
true.
think
That's
she
true.
can. Because Bozilla goes up for people. Like she goes up for people. I don't
She
think that'll
does,
be a
but I
problem.
don't know if she'll like physically be
We've
capable of
also
it.
we've also saw a Yumi Kurihara hit the move on Aja Kong at like
That's true.
a
We did.
heavier point in Aja's life. So that was yeah,
Mm.
I think
Yeah,
Sari can do this.
she could maybe. Or it'll be the foot stomp. She'll like do multiple foot stomps or
Just do
something into a pin.
20 foot stops in a row, yeah.
She could. She might.
She should do 20
Yeah.
foot stops in a row, get the armbar.
Yes.
Shouts out Inoki.
But yeah, that's
Inoki and Ito, that's how you win. The two eyes.
oh lord. But yeah, that's that show. Honestly, I'm very excited for that one. It is on Thursday, so we'll have a long time to watch it before we record again. And then Marigold is running Shinkiba First Ring this weekend for a double header. There's only a card for the first show because the later show is the Masked Fiesta, the return of the fun vibes. Um, on the early show though,
Which
we
is I
have
think that's a mystery vortex, isn't it? Don't they usually did they used to do that or did they announce
I
the
think
cards?
they used to announce stuff in advance, but I can't
I
recall.
don't mind. Either way, I think it's fine.
Yeah. In our
Excuse me.
opener, we have Victoria Yuzuki versus Hummingbird versus Komomo Minami. So that's an
Manami, get
instant
out of there. I want to see that match. Sorry,
it's an
that was mean, but
instant
still.
Superfly division kind of tune up.
Yep.
Kazuna Tanaka versus Naho Yamada. So a first real test for Naho right there.
Yeah,
Um,
I think if Naho wins either of these first two matches, that will be very interesting.
Yes, and if she can get a good match out of Kazuna, she is a god in my
Motherfucker,
eyes.
get the.
um,
I should slap
Rhea
you.
Seto and Minami Yuki versus Nao Ishikawa and Myla Grace. It depends on if they're still doing the losing streak thing with Now. Her and
Yeah.
Myla might win.
It's
Yeah, we'll
against
have to see.
Yuki?
Yeah, Minami Yuki and Rhea.
Yeah,
There's
I think
definitely a world
Myla.
where Rhea beats her, but I think
Well, no,
Myla
well,
could.
now isn't even like a losing streak wrestler. She just doesn't win via pinfall. So Myla could win, and that would be fine.
Has she won at all?
Yeah, her and I won a bunch. It was just Nanai winning.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay. Well, yeah, okay. Maybe Myla gets the win there. Okay.
Yeah.
We then have Nanai Takahashi and Miku Aono versus Bozilla and Chiaki. Ooh. Yeah, I'd say Nanai. I think Bozilla's probably finished up in a month or two, so they might start like having her team lose more often than not.
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't know. Maybe they want to have her do the entire circuit and have her challenge for the tag belts at some point with presumably
Uh,
Chiaki.
I don't know. Maybe I could see it, but I think they'll give Nanai and Aono the win there. They're a bit overpowered.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think it's very possible for them to lose. It could be a draw, but I doubt it that as well.
No,
I
this
think
might be one of
Nanai
our
will
first shows without a
easily
draw.
win.
He has
Knock
losers
on
now. He has
wood.
pin eaters. Wow.
That's true.
Then the opener, the Komo Minami match goes 15. Um,
Yeah.
in our main event, then we have Natsumi Shozuki, Mai Sakurai, and Mirai versus Koki, Utami Hayashishita, and Misa Matsui.
They love running this match just with different like just like okay, now what if we swap the teams and we
Yeah,
and we throw in Misamatsui? Because it's like it's tried and true, it's gonna work. A trios match in the main event featuring, your top dogs, your
yeah.
Tommies, your Kokis, uh,
Top
your
dog Koki.
Mirais.
Wow, what a world.
Yeah, Chikagoto's not on the show.
That is true, actually. Yeah, they didn't say why. She must have prior commitments.
Yeah, I mean she's on the Korakuen, so it's not like she's hurt.
Yeah, that's true,
So
actually. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
And then
I
there's
w-
the Fast Miesta or Fast Miesta. Okay,
I wonder
Mask
then,
Fiesta.
does Matsui and Shozuki get involved in the pin? Because Matsui did challenge Shozuki for the Superfly belt. Shozuki was like, "I have a challenger already. Back off." So I wonder if Matsui like beats Naho and immediately is like, "Okay, it's my turn. Well, I want to challenge again." And then one of
Do you
them
think she wins it
beats the
first
other here.
stream?
If she challenges straight away, they probably can't string it out that long. And it might end up being Yuzuki next.
Again?
Like, but Yuzuki winning at first
Oh,
stream.
potentially.
Because I don't know, like I thought they would wait a bit longer for Matsui, but she's challenged her already, so unless she loses to Naho and it's like a fake, it's a fake out and Naho is the next challenger, I don't know. But yeah, if Matsui does challenge Shozuki, they could be involved in the finish here.
Uh, Scott asking the real questions in our recording chat. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think Matsui is probably going to suffer to build character a little bit longer. So I don't think this match plays into it too much.
Fair. Um, but that's everything. That is both companies for this week. I don't think I've missed anything. But yeah, we'll be back next week. We will get to watch the Cork, and obviously it will be live on Thursday, so we'll have that watched. I imagine both Stardom shows are live. I haven't checked, but they usually are live from
I
Cork
think
at the very
everything's
least.
live because they're all in Tokyo.
Yes, yeah, probably. So we'll have a lot to watch, but we will try our best um,
Yeah.
to get it through it. And then we'll be back next week to review everything and continue our coverage of the Goddess League, which will be very testing on
A little
me,
bit.
I think.
I'm
Um,
deciding on if I'm gonna do my usual thing of watching every single match because Rihanna and Waka are looking real skippable. I'm not gonna lie. Like
yes,
there's
no,
some like
honestly,
it,
I'm not.
even Psy Queen. I'm just like, oh man, that's
Leave Side Queen out of
eight
this.
eight whole matches. Huh?
It's not
What do you
that
think
bad.
about that? It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there'll be some sneaky good
Did you
cycling
see
matches.
all of Sakamatai's interview bits where she's like, "Yeah, so I decided to wrestle worse because of WrestleMania and because that fan was rude to me and because I hurt my arm and so now I'm bad." Bleh. Like that was great.
I have seen
Great.
people dunk on that, but I am also not of the opinion that WWE is like an inferior style of wrestling. So I think she's just trying to imitate them, but can't, and that's okay. Because
It's
WWE
not
has
okay.
talented wrestlers, and it takes time to get that good. So that is all. But anyway,
The
we
E drone comes out at night.
no,
No.
I hate that. Like I feel it feels so immature to just be like, oh, all wrestling in WWE is bad, and it's like they have had some of the greatest wrestlers of all time in their roster. There has to have at some point been good matches and good wrestling and good
Well, yeah,
influence
obvious.
in that
Hey,
company.
hey, I go back. I watch Bobby Lashley versus John Cena from 2007. I have a good time.
You know
Like,
what?
don't get me wrong.
I bet those Bobby Lashley matches are all fucking awesome, but I haven't seen them in forever.
Me and Xavier have talked about that. It's like, like JBL was actually good for most of his run.
He's yeah, JBL's recently been like reclaimed by hipster Twitter. They've been like, oh, he was actually good, and I believe them. But I'm not gonna
Like,
watch
I've thought
JBL
about it.
matches.
It's like, wait, how is JBL not good? Because like he has all the makings of like being a badass pro wrestler.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he should have been good. I also haven't seen many JBL matches in the past couple years. Outside of him versus John Cena in a parking lot brawl, very funny match. Um, but yeah, like I was like, he has to have been like good at some point because he has all the makings of like the internet's favorite wrestler. But
He's just like
yeah,
a bit of a dickhead, though. He's always rubbed me the
he
wrong way.
he's just very quintessentially American in like all
Yeah,
of the weirdest
yeah,
ways. Just
pretty
like
much.
I found out, this is not to get political. I found out Ronda Rousey isn't a Trump supporter, and my mind was blown. I was like, wait,
She's not.
how's no?
Oh,
She responded to Batista's video like this is all so true. Clap clap clap. I was like, wait, what the
you
fuck?
know, she feels more like a Romney Republican, like the more like the
And
less insane
that's
variant.
that's what JBL is, and that's why I'm like,
Yes,
yeah, he's
yeah,
just every other Republican that you've ever seen. It's like he sucks, but it's like, yeah, whatever.
yeah. All right, well that's interesting. But yeah, okay, we'll be
That's the
back
political quarter.
next week. Yeah, when yeah, Kamala that does the thing, maybe. I don't know when the election is, but we
God
will be back
willing.
next week. Um, and we'll review everything and cover Tag League. Until then, it's time to close the show. If you want to stand, you may stand. If you want to sit, you may sit. Believe today, shine tomorrow. You decide what you believe in.
Stay golden. That
Ijo.
yeah, Ijo.